Curl friends, this is Annalise Harris, founder of Curls on the Block. I am really excited on this Friday evening to bring to you another conversation about the Black tax, and specifically the Black tax in the hair and beauty industry. Last week, we were joined and had a conversation about Korean and Black relations, the current Black beauty supply owner issues. And this week, really excited to highlight a really awesome product and a great founder. And we'll bring them on a little bit later. First, I would like to share with you some information about the Black tax. So I am going to do a quick little lesson on protective styles and also the definition of the Black tax. Okay. Of course. It's a short little presentation, but the Black tax, conversations on the Black experience in the hair and beauty industry. The definition of the Black tax is the financial cost of discrimination against Black people in America by people and or institutions that are conscious or unconsciously are unconscious and anti-Black and biased. This definition is coming from the book, The Black Tax, The Cost of Being Black in America by Sean Rochester. And he's to be quoted and says, Black people in America own just 2% of US wealth. This means that 1.4 million businesses with employees, 6 million jobs associated with those businesses, and well over $8 trillion in wealth that should belong to the Black community are simply not there. The hair and beauty industry value, as you see, is on the rise and has been doing this since 2012. We also know historically, everyone has cared about what they look like. So the hair and beauty industry is definitely one to keep your eye out and to invest in. Today, we're going to review some things that are particular for the Black experience in the hair and beauty industry. Protective styles, bad weaves, and some solutions as well. Let's go over a definition of protective styles. A protective style is actually a style for natural and curly hair to be protected. It usually requires some tucking away of the ends to retain to lessen breakage, as well as limit and discourage tugging, pulling, and more manipulation, which can lead to breakage. It's also typically less heat used, so less contact on the hair. Here are some tips from natural hair bloggers from the Hair magazine from way back in 2018. Usually, a protective style should be one that has low maintenance. So you should not have to do something to your hair every single day if you are rocking a protective style. It is typically a very simple style as well, one that doesn't require a bunch of hair ties or other elements that could impact and break off the hair. A lot of us, my personal fave, is the twist out. It's a really safe and easy style that can be done without adding hair and typically is used with a product that enhances moisture. As you see, you can even consider keeping that protective hairstyle hydrated and moisturized. Most often, folks use braids as that protective style. In order for it to really be a protective style, please remember to keep that scalp clean. Otherwise, you're going to keep dirt in, and that's not actually protecting your hair. It actually can damage it even more and cause other irritation on your scalp. Protective styles do not have to be a very big hairstyle or very significant, but it is very typical to keep it simple. Again, something that you can get access to your scalp and keep the hair healthy. Protective styles definitely still require moisturizing your hair, so don't forget that. Also, be mindful that there are different levels to protective styles. You want to consider what it would take for your needs and for your hair's needs. So let's go into some bad weaves, y'all. Weaves for some folks are a protective style, but there's some issues that can come up when using bad weaves or extensions or bad hair. So actually, if you're adding hair, some things to note is that historically, and for some folks, synthetic hair has caused allergic reactions. So that tap, tap, tap and that constant itching may actually be a little bit more serious than you may have realized. In fact, if you're not aware, you could actually use a product, an ingredient to actually rid the hair that you use for protective styling options to reduce that irritation. And that is apple cider vinegar. I thought it was necessary to also make sure that everybody knows Black girls are not the only ones rocking extra hair, okay? Not at all, okay? And also not the only ones dealing with issues pertaining to their scalp and the health of their hair. So white girls can go bald as well, especially if they're unaware of the impact and the type of hair they're using as well. Synthetic hair, there's a definition for it. It is fake hair, okay? They are man-made fibers and often are made out of acrylic or nylon. And there is a chemical process that makes them look and feel very close to human hair. Human hair can also be used in protective styles as well, and it does require a maintenance very similar to using your own hair as well. A lot of people have found that actually they are allergic to synthetic hair, especially if they're not cleaning the hair before using it on their as a protective style. So that crazy itching, the alkaline lye is a spray that is typically coating the hair that you're finding in your local beauty supply stores. And if you do not take the time to care for that, you could find that you become allergic or cause more irritation on your scalp. A lot of these hair care braiding companies do deny any extra processes, but the scalps don't lie, ladies and gents. They just don't lie. Here are some steps on making hair less itchy using apple cider vinegar, and very similar to what you could do for your fruits and vegetables, because not only is braiding hair chemically processed, sometimes our fruits and vegetables on display have been coated with some of the same chemicals. Just for some light humor, a film came out last year called Bad Hair. A personal favorite actress of mine, Vanessa Williams, Kelly Rowland, and quite a few others are in there. And it kind of makes fun of a bad hair weave, and it's like a horror film about it. It's definitely just supposed to be taken in light. However, it does highlight some of the issues very close to why Black women wear extensions, weaves, and protective styles. So check it out. Tonight, we're able to highlight a solution for this issue. We have Latch Hooked founder, Tiffanys Journey, and she's going to share with us her journey and influence to creating a safe synthetic hairline that is where, as she is quoted, innovation meets self-care. And so I would love to bring her on and let us hear from Tiffany. Okay. Hi, Tiffany. How are you?
Thank you for the education.
Got a little nervous because I couldn't see anybody, so I was just talking to the screen. But you know what? I'm sure that was not news to you, as you have your own hair care line and braiding hair line. And I would love to hear from you, your journey and a little bit more about your product.
Yeah, sure. So in terms of my journey, I have been an entrepreneur for about 11 years. I actually transitioned from corporate America into entrepreneurship 11 years ago. That I can't even believe that I'm saying that. Um, I used to be over consumer and small business banking at Bank of America, and just decided that it wasn't something I wanted to do anymore. I definitely appreciated the growth that it gave me, and it taught me a lot about um, leadership, obviously money. It taught me a lot about growing teams. It taught me a lot about collaboration and working together with others. It just taught me a lot. So I love that I had the corporate background and structure. But it just wasn't feeding my soul. It wasn't something that I saw that I wanted to do and retire from. And I think that I didn't necessarily know it then, but obviously I know it now that, I am a creator. That's what feeds me, feeds my creativity and my passion. And so I wanted to find something that I could do that would, satisfy that part of me, what I love to do. So I left, became an entrepreneur 11 years ago, and I have been doing a lot of different things since then. I was blogging. I had a concierge service called the ATL Go-To Girl.
Oh.
I had a magazine, which was called Tastemaker Magazine, where I covered, lifestyle subjects. And then in 2015, I entered into the beauty industry. And how I got there was, in 2014, I started seeing, getting more into like Instagram, and I started seeing women doing this crochet style. And I was like, oh, they're bringing crochet back. I did hair when I was in high school. That's how I earned money. So I started with protective styles, micro braids. Crochet was not anything that was popular amongst my age group at that time. So I thought that it was really ironic that the crochet movement was coming back, because I'm like, we did not love to wear. It was like the older women were wearing crochet, and the younger women that we weren't into that style. So I thought it was ironic in 2014 when I started seeing like this boom of women taking the synthetic hair and crochet, using the crochet hook, and then rolling it around the rod and dipping it in the hot water. I was like, okay, I like this new method. This is really I can get down with this. And I started incorporating that particular style into my services. But what I didn't like about it was the fact that I was having to dip my client's head basically in this hot water. And it was so dangerous.
Yeah.
As a stylist who is not, at least in Georgia, to be a protective hairstylist, you don't need a license.
Right.
However, that just opens you up to all types of legal ramifications. And it was just a red flag for me. It was just like, I do not want to get sued by a client for, burning her with water, or her getting burned by the steam, because even the steam itself could burn you, because the water has to be so hot in order to, get this synthetic hair to set and react. And so I just started I started thinking about, what if these curls, this look that women want, what if it was already done for them? Mm-hmm. And all they had to do was literally like take it out the package and just crochet it. And there was nothing, not only was that option not available, crochet in general, any crochet hairstyles, meaning ready to wear styles that had a loop at the top where you could just crochet it in your hair, was not available in 2014, 2015. So I created the first pre-curled and loop crochet hair in 2015. It was the first hair on the market that was pre-styled. and came with the loop. So the loop was the identifier for consumers to be able to show them where they would start the crochet method. And then something that was ironic was that the hair came in a box. That was also something that was unique because, and I think I actually, somewhere on my shelf up here, I have the first prototype that I made up on my shelf up here. But it came in a box. And the reason why is because, I had never seen hair come in any other packaging other than like plastic packaging. And so for me, I wanted it to feel really special when customers open up the packaging. And so, so it was, curls in a box.
That's cute.
That is how I got my start in the beauty industry. And, I know I probably play humble a lot of the times, but, to know that I created a product that is, has revolutionized really the way Black women style their hair now, is an honor. And I continue to want to tell this story because I think it's important that Black women know that the crochet hair that they're using today, that it probably, I'm not saying that it would never, but it probably would not have happened if a Black woman like myself had not thought that we needed something better to help to protect us from, hot water burns. Like we wouldn't have had all these other crochet styles that are out here now. So that's how I started.
Wow, that's a wonderful story. First of all, you're not new to this, you're true to this. So but that's kind of how it goes, isn't it? Things that you do in your life prepare you for greatness even later on. So that's really cool. I have wanted to know, what is your favorite product right now? Because I know you have a couple things out that are kind of new, but what's your favorite product?
It's so funny because people ask me that all the time, and I feel like I'm always saying, "Oh, this is my favorite. This is my favorite." I
right now.
I have a lot of favorites, but right now, what I really am loving is our scalp soothie.
Yeah.
And the scalp soothie is the first tool that we have in our line. And what it was designed to do is to help to not only stimulate the scalp, but to really promote healthy scalp hygiene. One of the things that we notice is that for the past 4 years, we have been focused on innovation in hair. So we were trying to continuously innovate and bring products as quickly as we could to the market. But what we were realizing when we were talking to customers is that they didn't really have anything to help to cleanse their scalp. They didn't have anything to help to maintain their scalp or cleanse their scalp while wearing protective styles. However, a lot of the customers were saying that the concerns that they were having about their hair was related to hair growth, hair loss, buildup, dryness. And we wanted to begin to have this conversation with customers to say that if these are your concerns, you can't start to deal with these concerns unless you start dealing with your scalp. Because a healthy scalp promotes healthy hair growth. So, we really wanted to have that conversation, with them and open up that conversation about scalp health.
No, and you know what, that's really appreciated as an owner, right? For you to obviously have that perspective and insight to what your customers' needs are. We know other brands do not really care. So like you said, being a Black woman who would use your own products, you have that insight, right? And so you're always going to be on the cutting edge because you know what the issues really are and you care about your customers, to have that brand loyalty as well. When it comes to developing products, what is that process like? Could you describe it for us?
long. It always makes me chuckle when customers will say, can you come out? Can you do that in purple or pink? Or can you make this or do this? And I didn't realize this, but they don't know the process that it takes, because what we are accustomed to as Black women, what we have been accustomed to when it comes to hair extensions, is that the only way that this person who's selling it, if they're not Asian, if they're Black or any other ethnicity, that the only way that they could have gotten that product is if they're distributing the product from an Asian person.
Mm-hmm.
And so when they make these requests, I think they think it's as simple as making a phone call or getting on AliExpress or something like that, and placing an order, and it'll be here. And maybe that is someone's reality, but for us, when I created the pre-curled and looped crochet hair, I had to make a prototype, and I had to find a manufacturer who could make this, because there was nothing out there like it. So there wasn't even anything that I could go to the store and pull and say, can you make something like this? Like, I had to create it. And not that it was difficult to create it, but I had to basically show them how to make it. And so once I found a manufacturer and I started understanding that process of how to source a manufacturer, I began to make all of my products, because I was like, oh, so it's possible. Like, I can literally create the curl patterns that I want. And I typically create curl patterns off of real life Black women. So like for yourself, like I would look at your curl pattern. I have friends who have curl patterns like you.
I got about 4. I got like some in the front.
It's so cool because, we talk to customers about mixing curls, because our curls aren't necessarily the same on our head. So you can actually come up with, with really cool creations. But I create my curl patterns based on real life Black women, experiences, travels, things like that. And again, like you said, because I am close to my consumers and I can have these conversations, like I literally can email them and just say like, hey, what do you want? What would you like? What are you thinking? What's bothering you right now? And I take all of those responses and I'm able to think about like, okay, what could I do? How can I create a solution for them? So the journey is long. Sometimes I had a product that we are releasing in a couple weeks, and it has taken me a year to do it.
Wow.
To get it. Because we had to make the prototype. We had to go through several, back and forth. Can you fix this? I don't really exactly like this. Can we do something like this? Then I had to, when I have to order a specific quantity of something, because everything is handmade.
Wow.
There's no machines it's not like a machine to curl the hair or to twist it or braid it. So a lot of my products are done by hand. So that takes a lot of time. So just the planning of a product can take anywhere from six months to a year.
Wow.
So like right now we're developing products for second, third, fourth quarter, and even 2022. So it can be a long process. It's not literally just like, oh, I can get this tomorrow and start selling. So a lot of times things that are already on the market, even if I like it, I might think about, is there a way that I want to change it to make it special to my brand? I may wait and kind of see like what customers are saying and what they're talking about. I might not do it at all. Like people keep asking us about faux locks. We have not come out with any faux locks. And that's because I don't believe right now at this moment that I can make it in a way that I want it to be made. So it could mean that I never come out with faux locks, because the way that I want it to be, I haven't figured out how to do it, because remember, I make all my prototypes. or it could be that I partner with someone else to help me who's better at creating that product, who could help me bring it to life. So I think about things like that as well.
Yeah, because I would love some faux locks, actually.
They're out there, so
No,
like,
I know.
they're definitely out there, but for me, just everything that we produce is just, it's special to me. And so I don't, the thing about me in my brand is that I had to realize is that I'm not competing with anybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Except
not,
it's just you. You're like, what could you do better?
and I want to make sure that people understand that it's not that I don't know that I have competitors. I definitely know that I have competitors. But I think that at some point as an entrepreneur, you have to stop trying to compete and realize that you have your own unique set of consumers that have obviously came to you for a reason. Focus on that. Or focus on nurturing that and not trying to keep up with what someone else is doing. Because I honestly cannot keep up with, Asian brands because they've been doing this for 5, almost 6 decades. I cannot keep up with them, nor am I trying to.
Right.
I'm trying to make products and get it right the first time so that I don't have to keep coming out with 100 different curls. I come out with the things that my customers love and keep selling that.
Wow, that's a message. That really is. And it's a really great insight and perspective to have, in this journey if people are considering, or have this idea and they are getting discouraged. It really is about honing in on what your group and niche is and providing the best that you can create for sure. I definitely appreciate that. And really you're on your own timeline for sure. It's like that you can't compare. You don't even know what other people are going through either. If we take it off of a global level, some people push everything out all at once. That's it. But for you have all these gems. So, and there's just a beauty in taking time in honing in on your craft. I definitely can appreciate that. I think you have this hat though, don't you? That has the hair already on it. I thought that was so smart.
And actually, this is a wig too. This is a turban wig. It's not yet released yet, but
oh man, we didn't got a sneak peek. Oh, excuse me. Okay, curl on the block with the early exit.
Yeah, because here's the thing. It's like, as Black women, we are not lazy.
No.
We do not hate our hair. We are busy and we need options.
Yeah.
And so that is the kick that I'm on, is because, under this turban wig, there's a lot of hair in the hair of my own hair. And before I got on this call, I had to make sure that 4 kids were fed. I had just come from the warehouse. I had to get myself together and eat. Mm-hmm. We just got a puppy, so that's like another kid.
Yes.
And I didn't have time to get my hair together. So the fact that I could just slip this on, swipe some lipstick, and get on this call in literally less than 5 minutes, I will take that.
Look, don't tell them the secrets now. Don't tell them. But the secret is Latch Hooked. Look.
We're into telling the secrets because the secret is it's not a secret. The thing is that the thing that I love right now is that Black women are not afraid to tell you that it's a wig.
That's true.
Like, I think we have evolved so much that we're just like, I don't care. I got this wig. I got this, this magic hat from Latch Hooked with these braids on it because I didn't want to sit and I didn't have time to sit for 6 and 8 hours. We have evolved so much that we are comfortable, number one, with our own hair and saying that we do love our hair. But the reality is sometimes doing our natural hair can feel like cardio.
Look.
And you know, we don't
Why
get these.
was I gonna do that?
You know what I mean? Like,
No plan.
nothing. We get it because we're always in our hair. And so, you know, sometimes you don't feel like doing cardio. You know, so let me get a solution. And if it's the solution is I'm gonna put on this hat or I'm gonna put on this wig, that's just what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not gonna feel any type of way about it, you know, because that's just what it is.
I love it and appreciate you, man. And I just have a dog, and I'm tired. So I just commend you. And all I did was take him on a walk. So, you set the bar high. But you know what? I wanted to know a couple more things. And if people have any questions, hopefully they know you can type them into the chat box and then I can post it. But my other question would be, considering the hair and beauty industry and addressing the needs of the curly and Black girl needs, right, and community, what are some of the barriers you face? That obviously it's a long time and you have some competitors who are in for the long haul, but what were some other barriers you faced in your development or in this process specifically for Latch and Hook?
I would say the most apparent barrier was being able, and actually sometimes it still is a barrier, is if I find because I have different manufacturers that make different products. And if I go to them, I know that I am not given the pricing fairly. The pricing isn't fair for the material. Because I am a Black woman and they know that. And so I've had to hire a Chinese employee who does my sourcing for me. So if
Wow.
I ever feel like, I know this pricing isn't fair because I've been doing this, now for 6 years. And so I can kind of feel like when something isn't right. So then I will go to my employee and say like, hey, this is the manufacturer that I've been talking to. This is what I want. See what pricing you can get. I think that is a big thing. Um, and she's able to kind of go undercover.
Wow.
And buy products for Latch and Hooked, buy fibers, negotiate, on our original designs and our contracts and our NDAs and things like that. So I think that's like one of the biggest things. The other thing early on that really like hurt me a lot was when I first saw a company copy my pre-curled and looped crochet hair. That really like stung me so bad. And then it just started seeming like a snowball effect that I started seeing, all these other companies. And the thing that I had to quickly understand was one that it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Even if you have a patent and you have protection, it's not even just about the protection. It's having the money to enforce the protection.
Wow.
And that's what people don't understand. It's like you can have a trademark, you can have a patent, but if you don't have the money to enforce the patent, it doesn't mean anything. If you want to be in court, do all of these things, it's a lot. Like think about, luxury brands, where they're getting ripped off every day on the corner. Do you think that they are going to spend, time trying to shut down all of those little mom and pop places who are selling their products? They can't, it distracts them from the main goal. They can try to get some of these bigger, places knocked down, but there's still so many people online, selling out of their trunks. What can you do? My sister sent me a video yesterday of, she said, this scalp, well, this massager that this person is selling or has, it wasn't exactly the same, but it's very similar to my scalp soothing. And she was like, how did they copy it so fast? They're just fat. They're fast. The other thing is when your stuff comes over through the border, through customs, those people who are like packages, like they work. Like some of them are like undercover working for manufacturers and things like that. Sometimes they'll take a box or a product out.
Wow.
And hold it. Like lots of things go on and happen. And so, it's also making sure if you do decide to go to the patent route, is making sure that you have an international patent so that it protects you across the borders.
Wow.
It's a lot. And when you're starting out, a lot of us, especially Black entrepreneurs, don't have the money to get a lot of these things,
Wow.
And so, like for me, I didn't have the money to get a patent when I first started. I mean, to hire an attorney to execute the patent when I first got started. And, later on down the line, I did. But by that time, it was, brands started copying the concepts.
Yeah.
And it's not about who does it first.
No.
It's about who protects it first. So, for me, it's, I just continue, telling my story. I continue to just try to be laser focused on just continuing to do what I'm doing. Because a lot of that outside stuff is noise, that tries to prevent you from working. And I know that I'm being watched. I know, and the reason why I know is because I can see my language being used in some other companies. Like the same type of language, they would use that language and use it in the promotion of their products, to sell their products. The packaging is starting to look similar. You see those things happening. And so now I have attorneys. Now I do. But when you're starting out, you might not have that. There are free resources that some colleges and universities offer in terms of helping with legal issues that you might have with your business. You just have to take the time and be diligent with uncovering those resources and continue to contact them, because again, they're free. They don't have a lot of bandwidth. But if you can get in with them, they can offer services complimentary to help you file patents and trademarks and things like that, if that is something that you're interested in.
Wow, that was very insightful and hopefully not discouraging. So let's move to the encouragement part for these up and coming entrepreneurs. It's work, right? It's a commitment, and it's worth it, right? Even when you're copied. I mean, I know it has to. I'm sure that stinks, but they say imitation is the highest form of flattery. So,
sometimes.
Right. Until they got more money than you off your product. Because that's the goal, right? So we do have one more question, but is there a way to collaborate with those big companies that are taking your language and those concepts, like, well, we already heard they don't even want to give you fair rates. So do you have headway with any particular companies?
So, I mean, you could try, but a lot of those companies, I mean, they're just going to probably take your idea and run with it. They don't necessarily see the value in collaborating, which is sad.
Yeah.
And it's not even just hair companies. That goes across the board for a lot of companies who would just be better if they would just collaborate with small makers, and just give them the credit. It's like, why do you want to steal from them? Just give them the credit, and it could just go so much further. It's a good deed. It's it looks good on the big company's part, you know, but a lot of these companies would just rather just knock off what they see and create it and try to, you know, take ownership of it. So,
Yeah.
you know, that's the sad part about it. And because of that, sometimes entrepreneurs get discouraged.
Yeah.
But again, a lot of that is noise. So you just have to stay focused. And I'm actually doing, I don't know if any of your viewers are on Clubhouse or if you're on Clubhouse, but I have a Clubhouse room that's called From Cubicle to CEO. And actually, I'm hosting a Clubhouse this Sunday at 6 o'clock. And the topic is defining your why. And the reason why I wanted to start there before I got into any other topics about how to leave your 9 to 5 to transition into corporate America is because as an entrepreneur, there are going to be many times that you have to go back to your why and remember why you got started so that you can continue to go on, because this journey is not for the faint at heart.
At all.
There are many times that you are going to have to reach back to your why and remember why you started in this journey to continue going. And so if you're on Clubhouse, feel free to join me this Sunday at 6 o'clock. And we're just going to be talking about what your why is and helping you to define your why before we talk about, you know, how to transition from corporate professional to entrepreneur.
Is that 6 p.m. Central?
Eastern Standard Time.
Oh, Eastern. So, okay. Just got to confirm, you know, we're all over the nation.
Yeah, I know,
we're on these blocks here. So, okay.
Yep.
That's awesome. And it is really something to focus on. Like, what is your reason? Is because also if it's really just, as much as people say to make money, you're gonna
you're gonna get burnt out real quick if it's just about money. So
yeah, right. And be crying all the time because you're gonna spend more.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. There, you know, right now I understand there is a little bit of, you know, glamorization. I think that's the word to say in terms of, you know, those who want to be a entrepreneur, because you see like, oh, you know, I want to be a boss, you know, employees, I want to have my own office and warehouse, and it just everything just looks cute, you know.
Yeah. To make it,
you know, a sister can tell you there are many times that I have broken down crying, like literally face to the floor.
Wow.
Because it's hard. You know, it is hard, and it gets even harder when you start to add in more dynamics like employees and things like that, because you are now responsible pretty much for the way someone else is living, you know, in their lifestyle. And so that's another burden that gets put on you, because, you know, now you're worrying about, okay, I got to make sure I make payroll. I got to make sure, you know, all of these things, because now you're responsible for other people. And so it just gets more complicated as your business grows. So it's not just about the website and the domain name and the stationery and the cards and all the cute stuff. It's really about the work that you have to get down to. And, you know, and I don't know if I make it look easy on social media. Maybe I do. I don't know. But it is quite more than I would have ever thought that it would be running this type of business. It's a lot.
You know what? But you're inspirational. And one of the things we know is that Black women have been at the forefront of innovation from the dawn of time. Not to be that dramatic, but truly, I mean, there's so many inventions that Black women have actually created. I mean, even the prototype for the pads, you know, like especially when it comes to what's relevant for women's health. And I just am grateful that you've committed to finding a solution to what really very few women recognize was an issue, right? Because it's easy to just pat and go and say, oh, it's just itchy a little. but then the long-term health impacts, we're angry, we're cranky, sick, don't even know why. It's what we're putting into our bodies and onto our scalps. And we're worth studying, and we're worth taking the time to care. I do think that with our own self-care, there's a process that we have to take. It takes time, and that's because we are valuable, and anything worth having does take time. So hopefully folks are inspired to continue. You're inspired to hear yourself speaking. I mean, you did some amazing things. You found a solution and you're persevering. It means a lot, because I have one little hiccup and I'm on the ground crying. Yeah, is anybody like my oh man, they're not checking out my app. Okay. And so you just have to not take yourself that seriously all the time, but take your passion serious, right? And so that way it can carry you. I'm a droid, so I'm gonna have to hear about it on social media. I am thinking about getting Clubhouse friendly and getting an iPhone. But you know what? Actually, I really want the Curls on the Block app to do exactly that, to be hosting those types of conversations. So I'm actually in the works to get an upgrade for the Curls on the Block app. And actually right now we can have those conversations. And so I want to definitely be able to center the curly community needs on the app. And hopefully folks go ahead and download the app. We're going to have your product featured. So I'll follow up and get some information for you. And we have, what's the app called? The app is literally called Curls on the Block. Through the app, you can get push notifications. We can highlight amazing salon products, founders such as yourself, Tiffany Gatlin, and host these conversations on the app as well. So, that's to come, and hopefully everybody goes and downloads that. But also, I want to know, where can people find your products? How can we go ahead and support you?
Well, definitely thank you for this platform and allowing me to come and speak to your community. But we are on latchedandhooked.com, so you can visit us online. We are on Instagram at Latched, and instead of "and," it's just the letter N, Hooked. We're on Facebook, so we're all over. Twitter is Latched and Hooked. We're all over. And the one thing I would say about our brand is that we are very customer service centric. And so we definitely put the customer at the forefront of our business. And so, we feel that you will have a great experience. Our products we'll say fast, but, right now we're still dealing with a pandemic, and, courier services are slow, but we deliver, fast on our part, within 2 to 3 business days. We've got your package going out. So we'd love for you to come and experience non-toxic. We'd love for you to come and experience what non-toxic beauty is all about. That's the basis of our business. A lot of people know us for our braiding hair, but we actually didn't even start selling braiding hair until 3 years into the business.
Wow.
That wasn't even our main product. But somehow we became a braiding hair company because people love our braiding hair. And right now braids are very on trend. Yeah. But the center of our business is about creating non-toxic synthetic hair extension products. And I definitely want to make this part clear because, when I started the company, trying to figure out how do I get non-toxic synthetic hair extensions? Like, how do I do that? Right. And so this has been the journey that I've been on. And I've only been, with Latch and Hooked, I've had 2 beauty companies. This is my second beauty company. And so with Latch and Hooked, I've been developing this for 4 years. But synthetic hair extensions has been around for over 5 decades. Yeah. So understand that I am only at the very, very beginning of my journey. Like, I have done a lot, but I'm still at the very beginning. And so whereas I have a lot of customers who credit our products when I say a lot, thousands of customers who credit our product for helping them to be able to wear synthetic hair extensions again without the scalp irritation. We are still continuously in development with our partners. And when I say partners, we have advisors who are chemists, who continuously advise us on, doing studies on our hair to make sure that it's continuously non-toxic and that we're developing and looking at chemicals that we can use to replace the toxins. And so we're still working through that. I don't have all the answers. And so, again, we are just continuously focused on making sure that our hair is clean for our customers. So we really lean on our customers to tell us if you're experiencing something. If you ever get our product and you still are having, some type of reaction in your scalp, we want to know that. We're not going to shy away and be like, oh, well, that can't be our product. We got to know, because we're still testing. We're trying to figure out, well, okay, we have this whole group of customers over here who haven't experienced it. So now that you're saying that you are, how do we test that? Why are these customers not experiencing it? And why is this group of customers experiencing it? It's a continuous study.
It's a process.
It's a process that we don't have the answers to 100%, but I am dedicated to continuously finding solutions. And I think that is the main focus, is that when no one else was thinking about it, when people were continuously saying that, oh, it's alkaline that's causing it. And I'm like, what is alkaline?
Right.
And so, going to my advisors and saying, like, can we, literally create a study to find out what this is? Because for as long as I know, people have been saying that this is alkaline. But where did we get that from?
Right.
Where did that come from? Is that scientifically studied?
Yeah.
Or did someone just pull that out the air? Like, where did that come from? So, those are the type of questions that I ask in my circle. And those are the things that we're working on developing so that we can literally have a product that is backed by science. We want to back up everything we say and we do with data and science. And so it is a process that we're continuously working on, and we want our customers to know that we are committed to continue to work and find answers and solutions for them.
And that's, for me, very inspirational and important, right? We care about companies that care about us. So, what I'm going to do? I'm going to have to buy some hair. I'm going to try some box braids. Okay.
You can do it. Listen, I have had customers. I am so proud of them, because especially through this pandemic where they weren't able to get to the beauty supply stores and, or ditch the beauty supply stores, and or wasn't able to get to their salons, they committed to learning on their own. And what I love even more is that it doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
Like, we love a little messy box braid, you know what I mean? A little uneven, a little, tousled, So
that's guaranteed with me, because
it doesn't have to be perfect. Actually trying and doing it is better than having to be perfect. So try it. And I think it's fun. I have one customer who's just like, she's finding this so exciting. She's never done any braids of any kind on her own, and she's been doing it. And the more and more, she's just getting really good now. I'm like, you are getting really good. You're gonna have to take clients soon, because you're getting
wow.
So, it's fun. I think our customers just love that we have such an array of colors. And so we have a color for every mood. And it's just fun. It's just fun to play around and also know that in the process that you are using a product that, is safer for you.
Well, I'm excited, and I will definitely tag you in the results. Probably not gonna do it next week, but maybe the week after. I gotta schedule in time. That way I can order it tonight or get in. I can mentally prepare.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited for you, for your products. I'm gonna have to order the scalp smoothie for my older sister. I'll get her something. And then I actually have a bunch of siblings, so I could get them all something.
Yes, we have a 50% sale coming up soon. That's another little tea that I'm just giving you.
Oh, wait. Let me write this down.
The scalp smoothie is going to be 50% off very soon.
Okay, well, I'll pay attention.
Yeah.
Girls on the block will share.
When that happens, you would definitely want to get on it. That won't happen again for a while. So.
You're hilarious. Well, we'll get this product moving, get some videos and testimonials, hairmonials, and looks like some tutorials will be requested too. So, you know what, Tiffany, it's been a pleasure sharing time with you and hearing about your journey and your product line and just your commitment to health and healthy hair and scalps of our Black women, and the curly community appreciates you. Can't wait to get that turban either. And so again, thank you. And, I just really appreciate your time. And so with that, everybody, I encourage you all to stay curly. And if not, go ahead and get lashed and hooked. All right. Have a good night, everybody.